History is often written in the ink of geography. Today, we analyze the most dangerous border on Earth.
NATO and Russia. A rivalry defined by decades of post-Cold War tension and shifting alliances. For Moscow, the expansion of NATO is an existential threat. For the Baltics, it is their only shield.
These three nations represent the front line. Vulnerable,
Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty.
But what happens when the deterrent fails? What happens if the line is crossed? This is the Suwalki Gap, 60 miles of land that connects NATO to the Baltic states.
To the west lies Kaliningrad, Russia's heavily armed exclave. To the east, Belarus, a key ally.
If Russia closes this gap, the Baltics are cut off from ground reinforcement.
We must consider the escalation ladder, from local skirmish to global catastrophe.
The scenario begins with a provocation, a border incident spiraling out of control.
Poland invokes Article 4, urgent consultations. The world holds its breath. Diplomacy fails in hours, not days. The trigger is pulled.
Article 5 is triggered. For the first time in history, NATO goes to war against a nuclear superpower. Kaliningrad becomes a fortress. Its S-400 systems create a no-go zone for NATO aircraft.
This is anti-access/area denial, AAD. The Baltic Sea becomes a trap.
NATO's first task, suppress the air defenses. The battle for the skies is brutal.
Thousands of sorties are flown in the first 48 hours.
Simultaneously, the digital front opens. Power grids flicker. Communications go dark.
The human cost is immediate. A mass exodus from the Baltic capitals begins.
Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania activate their total defense plans. Every citizen is a soldier.
The Russian plan, a rapid decapitation strike. Seize the capitals before NATO can mobilize in force.
Reinforcements from Germany and France rush toward the Suwalki Gap. It is a race against time. But the roads are narrow. Sabotage and elite paratroopers wait in the woods.
In modern war, the first 72 hours decide the map for the next decade.
Heavy armor clashes in the gap. The sheer volume of fire is unprecedented.
Main battle tanks, once thought obsolete, become the iron fist of the ground war.
Infantry armed with smart munitions turn every village into a death trap for armor.
At sea, the Baltic is a lake of mines and submarines. No vessel is safe.
The Russian Baltic Fleet attempts to break the blockade, but NATO's coastal batteries are relentless.
War is won by logistics. Russia has the advantage of short lines. NATO has the advantage of depth.
The Reforger-style airlift begins. Thousands of tons of equipment cross the Atlantic daily.
Russia utilizes its massive rail network to shift divisions from the Far East to the European front.
The world watches from above. Space becomes the next battlefield as satellites are blinded or destroyed.
1 week in, the Suwalki Gap is a graveyard of steel. Neither side has a clear victory.
The war enters a dangerous phase. Conventional stalemate often leads to unconventional choices. Moscow considers the escalate to de-escalate doctrine.
The nuclear escalation ladder. Each rung represents a point of no return.
Washington and Brussels must decide. Do we respond in kind or hold the line?
The use of a tactical nuclear weapon, a demonstration strike, is the ultimate gamble.
If the ladder is climbed to the top, geography no longer matters. But let us return to the present. The Suwalki Gap remains a flashpoint of conventional strategy. The Baltic states have invested heavily in territorial defense, irregular warfare.
Every forest becomes a trap. Every road is a potential ambush. Occupation is impossible.
Simultaneously, NATO targets Kaliningrad. The hunter becomes the hunted.
Kaliningrad's isolation is its greatest weakness. Without a land bridge, it cannot survive a long siege.
The unity of the alliance is tested. Can 30 nations remain focused on a single front?
Economic warfare reaches its peak. Global markets collapse. Energy supplies are cut. The war is felt in every home, from Berlin to Vladivostok. Morale becomes the deciding factor. How long can a soldier fight a war of choice?
Industrial capacity kicks in. NATO's combined GDP begins to crush the Russian war machine.
Drones become the primary weapon of the second month. Swarms dominate the battlefield.
They are cheap, expendable, and lethal.
For the infantry, there is nowhere to hide.
As Russia loses ground conventionally, the threat of nuclear use increases.
Back channels open. The goal shifts from victory to survival.
A ceasefire is negotiated. The borders return mostly to the status quo.
But the world has changed. The trust is gone. The Iron Curtain has returned, thicker than before.
The Suwalki Gap is now the most fortified border in human history. A permanent state of high alert. A cold peace. This simulation shows that even a limited war would be catastrophic.
Deterrence is not just about weapons. It is about the cost of the alternative.
Both sides know the Suwalki Gap is a trap that neither can afford to spring.
Peace is maintained by the terrifying certainty of Article 5.
In the end, the best outcome is the war that is never fought.
Thank you for watching this tactical analysis.
Subscribe for more historical and strategic breakdowns.
Keep the peace. Understand the geography.
We stand ready! And so do we.
The balance remains.
For now.
End of transmission.